This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and today we've got the opportunity to get to know Jason. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Gianna, thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys reaching out, and whatever questions you have, I'm here for you.
Awesome. Well, we're super excited to get to know you, and the best way to do that is to take it back to the beginning. So, Jason, where are you from? Where do you live now? How did you end up in real estate?
Oh, gosh. Let's go all the way back to 1970. No, I'm just kidding. Way back when. So, born and raised in Texas, originally from the Fort Worth area. Lived all over the Metroplex. Travel the world, and then in 2003, it was about 2003, I got in the mortgage business, and so from 2003 all the way through 13, so quite a while, it was in the mortgage business. Went through the debacle, and then became realtor in 2016, and so was that 19 years roughly within real estate as a industry. I've been on as a realtor for the last 6.5 years, roughly.
Okay, awesome. So you've been in the game for a while now. How did you come across EXP? Because in the mortgage business, I'm sure you ran across many brokerages. So What about EXP stood out to you? Was it your first brokerage you worked at? How did you come to cross paths?
So actually, we started at KW. As I always say, grew up at KW. That was our first parents, AKA brokerage. We worked at a couple different market centers there. We left, opened my own brokerage for about 1.5 years. And then about that time, we were looking at making a change. We did interview EXP, kicked myself in the ass for not joining, but we went to a smaller brokerage. And then we came over to EXP August of last year. And so what's been 9 months now, roughly. So I'm loving it. So.
Absolutely. And, you're kicking yourself for not coming on the computer. That happens so often. I hear that almost every show here on the Icon Podcast.
No, definitely. And, of course, some of my good friends are at EXP. They went to EXP early on. My actual senior partners, which, obviously Justin knows, is Kevin Kaufman and Fred Weaver out of Arizona. They really, they never push EXP. They never said you have to join, you have to do it. They took the time that I needed and answered a ton of questions because I had a lot of questions. And they realized that what I was trying to do is something that EXP could help with. And so we finally made that decision in August. And so, we haven't looked back. Not going to look back. So.
Yeah, so you're finally over here, saw that EXP had some opportunities. And obviously you're kicking yourself, I'm sure, because, that stock and all the growth.
Just a little bit. So
just a little. So Jason, now that you're here and you're in great production, you're iconing, what is something about EXP that maybe you didn't expect at first or didn't know about that you've really come to love about the brokerage?
So every brokerage always talks about being agent centric, right? That's always, we're all about our agents. We're all about our agents. And realistically, let's be honest with you, most brokerages are not, right? They say they are, but when it comes down to push to shove, they kind of push back more than they do help. Yeah. So when we came over to EXP, my specialty is land, and land is not something that is done a ton at our level. And so there were some, things that we needed to work through with compliance. The fact that head of compliance, our state broker, and a couple of people got on the phone, heard kind of what our concerns were. We addressed them, we corrected them, and here we are. And I mean, it was just easy. We've never had that level of support, even with the local franchises, the local big franchise, so for me, that's a huge thing. It's something that I didn't expect coming over. We're not some huge mega team. We do well, but we're not Andrew Franklin doing 1,200, 1,500 deals a year. We're not the teams that are doing thousands upon thousands. We're just a smaller team. But the fact that, the company said, let's figure this out, that speaks volumes to me.
Absolutely. That collaboration and,
Yep.
Sense of team, even if you are completely, remote and with each other through technology, is just something that really stands out at EXP.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that people have fallen in love with coming over here and just being able to feel connected. And referrals in other states. It's really cool to see how people take advantage of it.
Yeah, most definitely. And so, I know so for some, it may sound trivial or, minute, but the fact that, they do use the Facebook Workplace where we can go in and collaborate collectively.
Yeah.
Where there's agents from all over the nation needing referrals, where we have a state broker room where their brokers are answering questions, our compliance are answering questions that if I do have an issue, I can jump in the workforce and go, hey, Tony, here's my concern, or hey, Tanya over at compliance, here's my concern, and we'll get an answer. Hell, I wrote the CEO through workforce, and then I saw him about 2 weeks later at a conference, and we talked. And it's just little things like that. It's pretty cool. So
yeah, absolutely. And Jason, obviously you stay busy. You've got some high production, and you're really involved with EXP. So at the end of the day, how do you unplug and recharge and take care of yourself and chase this so-called work-life balance that everybody speaks of?
Well, I've been very blessed in that, very early on, we made it a point that we would have a work-life balance. So in 2017, I primarily shifted to nothing but listings. Last year, I worked with 4 buyers out of 140 transactions. So everything else was listings. And so by doing that, it gives us a work-life balance. And it was very intentional. So most days I'm home by 6:30. I'm having dinner with my family at 6:37 at night. We do things around the house that need to get done, The weekends, we do take emails, we do take calls and contracts, obviously, but we're not actively working. But I am also, I have a side business a side hustle, I guess you could say. I like to buy and sell sports cards, so like baseball, football, baseball cards.
Cool.
And then every morning we're usually up, between 5 and 5:30. We're in the gym by 6. And we work out 5 to 6 days a week. So
okay.
We plan as a family. We plan, we actually plan 4 vacations a year. 2 is just my wife and I, and 2 as a family.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how we unwind throughout the year. So
absolutely, I love that. That's really cool. You guys set a time aside for just the 2 of you, and then time for hanging out with the kids as well. I love that balance, and that's okay. Some people feel selfish when they're doing that, but you have to unplug. You deserve that time. Yeah. And trust me, whether you leave the kids to the grandparents or whatever, they're going to be having a good time too.
Now, that's also the secret to success, is go on vacation, because the moment you decide to go on vacation, that's when everybody needs you.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, but not kidding.
But also somebody explain the logic there, because it's true, right? Yeah. Well, that's awesome, Jason. And obviously you're on the Icon podcast for a reason. You've hit that production level. So let's talk a little bit about that. So for example, in your market, right, it's going to be a little different than, LA or somebody in Alaska. So I like to get a question out of the way so that listeners can kind of gauge what it takes for you to be an icon in your market. So about how many houses do you have to sell to hit that icon point?
So obviously, you have to cap. And then so capping in our market, you're probably talking about 2.7 to 2.9 million to hit your cap. Right. And then you got another 20 transactions to go. And once you hit that 20th transaction you hit that icon status. And so, if you have your, sight set on it, it's doable. It's less than, it's basically, if you like 2.6 million, you're like 300 and 400,000. So you're looking at 6, maybe 7 deals to cap. So you're looking at less than 30 deals a year. That's basically less. That's basically what, 2.2, 2.5 deals a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. It's doable. It's just, you have to be willing to work. So
exactly. And Jason, it's more than just the production when it comes to being an icon agent, right? So you've got that cultural commitment as well. And, that could be vetting other icons. It can be mentoring, coaching, teaching an EXP world. So which of those options have you opted for your cultural commitment?
So for our culture commitment, we decided to be on the mentor program. So I am a certified mentor. And so we work with some of our local agents.
Mhm.
We do let some agents outside the area know if they're okay not having a local agent, we're there for them as well. So our biggest thing is we want to help teach, educate, and motivate and show them that it can be done. So
love that. Incredible. Mentorship is a great path to take, and we're gonna kind of pick your mentoring brain about that in just a couple of seconds. But when it comes to being an icon agent, there are some great benefits to it, right? So you have that title, and referrals in your area are so easy to secure because you've got that credentials, you got that credibility, that reputation, and you get your cap back in stock, the opportunity to go to EXP Con and shareholders, and
yep.
pretty
We'll be
much
there in June.
paid. Yeah, it's awesome. And also not to forget that nice shiny glass trophy. So
Yeah, it's right. Where's it at? It's
I see it
right there.
yeah,
Ryan Serhant's pointing at it from his book. I did that on purpose. He's like, hey.
like we got it. So Jason, of all those things, what has been your favorite benefit of being an icon agent?
So when we'll take a step back. When we were looking at switching brokerages last year, the biggest thing for me making that decision was we had already paid our previous broker close to 30,000 by June. That was the middle of the year.
Wow.
And so I was like, there has to be something better, right? So for me, when we looked at the final numbers, we're going to pay about the same here that we did there. But the difference is I'm getting that back in stock. And so, for me, yeah, it's a driving force. We did it pretty early when we did our 20th or 21st transaction in January. We eligible in February. So basically in 5 months, we icon. But what was fun is when you get, not only do you get that announcement, but when you, at the end of the month, you say, oh crap, I just got how much in stock? And then you're like, to me, that was kind of cool, right? That was kind of
No, it's really cool.
And you realize, oh, wait a sec, they really do give you your stock back. But it gets better. I would say, but wait, there's more. The big thing about getting the stock back is, yes, we do have a vesting period, right? So you have so many years. But half of that stock, or not, is it half, or is it 4,000 of it? I can't remember. So we get 8,000. Yeah. So, the mentor is 2,000. So that vests in 2 years. But going to the stock summit, and then going to EXP, you get that money immediately. There's no vesting in that. That's stock that gets vested immediately. So
right.
And the thing is people like, we have to spend money to go to these events. Well, yeah, but it's not that you're spending money to get stock. You're spending money to educate yourself.
Right.
You're spending money to be around other people that are like-minded, that are wanting to succeed, that are wanting to learn, that are yearning to learn, if you will, to be better at what they do. And you get the chance to network with other people and build your network, which you mentioned earlier, referrals.
Right.
Icon, there's only 1 or 2% of the whole company, which is 82,000 people right now.
Right.
To be in that 1 to 2% of the whole company speaks volumes to other agents that are needing referrals.
Absolutely. No, Jason, you're right. And some people are like, oh, that doesn't make sense, especially people that are trying to throw rocks at things that shine, like EXP, right?
Right.
Oh, don't go over there. It's a cult. It's a pyramid scheme. Blah 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 blah. Oh, how's your stock doing? Just kind of being menaces. And the people who get it.
The people who get it. But the thing is I didn't make the move because I get stock or revenue share. I made the move because I saw the value in the company and projecting and helping me progress in my professional career and my entrepreneurship of owning and running my own business. I mean, hell, EXP is very much about letting you have ancillary services like title, like hard money lending, insurance, license in multiple states without having to pay multiple brokerage fees, which, we're working on getting our Oklahoma license.
That's awesome.
So, to me, those are the things. You come over here for stock and revenue share because it's icing on the cake.
Right.
You get your cake and you get your icing and you get to eat both. Just saying.
Right. I love that, Jason. And as far as being like a mentor, right? Let's put you in a little bit of a scenario here. So let's say I just got done with real estate school, and obviously I haven't even written an offer letter yet because they don't teach you to do that in real estate school. But I'm a rookie, and I'm coming over on the Jason team, and I'm just like, hey, Jason, like, as my mentor, I know I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
But, I think I want an icon this year as a rookie. So what kind of come to Jesus talk would you have with me? What goals do we need to set out to do that? Is that possible? Is it possible for people, other agents coming over from different brokerages to icon in their first year? What does a first year icon look like? How do we get there?
So this will be very state specific, but I think it's very relevant. I'd hand them the book, 30 plus ways to get out of a contract, because you have to understand what you're doing to get where you're going. And part of that is contracts, right? So a brand new agent coming out of school, they have to know contracts forwards and backwards, because they're going to come cases. And we've done this, this year alone, where we helped a seller get almost $8,000 in earnest and option money back because we knew the contracts. And so that's the big thing, right? That's more the educational piece of the knowledge. But from there, that's when we dig in with them and say, you need to sit down and look at your sphere of influence. Who do you know? Who do you know right now that can help you? Who do you know right now that can help refer people to you? And build it a base around there, your sphere of influence, right? But it's also having that come to Jesus meeting of, this takes work. This isn't part-time. This isn't, you're going to sit there and work for 3 hours a day, get up at 10 and leave at noon. Or 1 o'clock, go hit the golf course. You're not going to sit there and party on the weekends. You have to work. We've closed, I think, oh gosh, we're at, I don't know, since we've been with EXP since August of last year to date, I think we've closed 130, 140 transactions. You can't do that by doing this part-time.
Right.
Right. Not just me, that's the team, right? You can't do this just by, getting up at 9 or 10 o'clock and going to the office at 11. You have to be willing to go, hey, I'm going to do what it needed to do. I'm going to do what I need to do to make it work. We'd also talk to them about things like how to call expired listings, how to work with for sale by owners, how to find the buyers, look outside your sphere of influence and basically work, and then break the numbers down. But, like I said earlier, you're going to be about 28 to about 30 transactions for the year to hit icon, right? So that breaks down to a little less than 3 a month. Well, what do you need to do 3 a month? And we just reverse engineer it based on numbers and past experiences. So
absolutely, just breaking it down, working the problem backwards and seeing, you got 12 months. How do we get there?
Exactly. And, if it's someone that's needing a mentor that has come from another brokerage and they're just needing some additional help, we're prime examples. Obviously, I shouldn't say prime examples. We're a little anomaly because of the volume that we do. But we came over from to EXP in August and icon immediately. If I'm not going to say if I can do it, anybody can do it, but really anybody can. You just have to work. You have to 4-letter word, WORK, work.
Yeah, that commitment to it, lean into your mentors, take advantage of some online trainings, and just better yourself.
Yep, exactly. And get involved. Get involved with our Facebook communities. Get involved with your senior partner communities. We have the Honey Badgers, right? We're, that's who we are. I think Justin's part of the Honey Badger group too.
Yeah,
right?
He's a Honey Badger.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about, right? So being involved, being plugged in. When you see people asking referrals, be the first to chime in. Hey, I'm here to help. Go out and do open houses for listing agents. Collect those buyer leads. You just have to be willing to work and think outside the box, and we'll teach them that. We'll show them that.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, and take advantage of this kind of cultural, ability and commitment, and being able to lean into the others around you, because it's not something that you're going to be able to find at any other brokerage.
Exactly. I joke about our group, the Honey Badger group, but if you're in that group, everybody gives freely with zero expectations. We put together some videos for our team on how to use SkySlope. We readily share that to other agents within EXP, saying, stop using third-party software. Use SkySlope. That's what we pay for. Use it. Here's how you use it. You go to other brokerages and they're like, wow, I really don't want to, they'll teach you something, but they don't want to teach you all of it.
Right.
They're afraid.
Of course.
With us, we're like, dude, take it. If you can make it better, go for it. We're all here for you. So
I love that. And Jason, were you ever skeptical of coming over to EXP? Like, as I touched on earlier, other brokerages throwing rocks at it, their cult pyramid scheme, whatever else. Were you ever hesitant in making that leap?
Oh yeah, and my operations manager just looked at me and smiled. He goes,
Jason, for somebody sitting in that position that you were in, what advice would you give them in coming over to EXP? What was your story? How did you, weigh out those options and decide to move? And why should somebody sitting on the fence make the leap?
I think I think there's a right brokerage for everybody, right? There isn't this brokerage is better than that brokerage. You have to find the opportunities within each brokerage. When EXP came on the scene and I was with KW, it was very easy. I pick on everybody. I pick on KW, I pick on EXP, but find the rock. I throw rocks at everybody, I guess you could say. But when I started weighing the options, I sat down and weighed what's my pros and my cons. We look at the numbers, right? We're okay. What do the numbers look like? And the more we really dived into it, and it also came down to our senior partners, Kevin Kaufman and Fred. We were being so patient with us and answering questions, and explaining to them that my goal with the EXP wasn't the revenue share and stockholders, which is, again, that's icing on the cake. It was about how can I grow my business? How can I dominate my market? How can I expand my market from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex throughout Texas and other states? And they took the time to explain that to me. So that is key, is finding the right people to talk to. Yes, there is revenue share and there is stock, which is very beneficial. And if that's what you want, find the right sponsor, great. But for us, it was more than that, right? So, and then what finally I think really, I guess you could say, put the bow on the cake and the candle is last. I guess it was June, July, somewhere around there. Jason was speaking at a panel at Glover University at the Glover Retreat up in Michigan. It's a yearly thing. It's a broker agnostic. They had a board panel. They had KW. They had, I think, Remax. Obviously, Jason was there for EXP. And he shared a couple of his stories. Like, he believed in the company so much that he was willing to put his family on food stamps. Wow. They did what they had to do to survive because he had the belief in the company. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever met a CEO that was willing to share something like that. Say, we believe in the company so much that I was willing to put our future, on hold and do what we had to do to make it successful and make sure my family's taken care of. So for me, that was like, okay, that makes sense then. We dug a little bit more and it was just an easy move after that. And so I think anybody that's looking at making a move, who's ever thought about making a move, just go in with an open heart and open mind. Yeah. Don't sit there and see what everybody says on Facebook. The jokes aside, really investigate and look at everything, and I think you'll find what you're looking for. And I really do think you'll find what you're looking for at EXP. So
yeah, it's incredible. There's a lot of benefits. Like you said though earlier, there's a right brokerage for everyone. EXP may not be right for you.
Right.
But we live in a metaverse where we live in a virtual world. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to Jason, and he's happy to answer him and talk about his experience and making that switch, because it's scary, but all these benefits, it makes it worth it.
Yeah, I think the fear of unknown is always going to be on someone's mind. We're emotional, right? We're emotional beings.
Of course.
And when you're looking at making a move, if you've been with somebody for a long period of time, with a broker in particular, that is kind of scary. It's like, oh crap, now what am I going to do? I'm going to have to redo all my branding, etc. Here's the thing though. If you built your business the way it should be built, it doesn't matter who you work for. Mm-hmm. When we moved from KW and we opened our own brokerage, and then we came to EXP, we had people going, we thought you always owned your own brokerage. I'm like, no, we just run a team. Mm-hmm. Right? We brand us. That's one thing I love about EXP is they want you to brand you, not them.
Right.
And but when you brand yourself, making that move, no one's going to really care. No one's going to really know, because they're working with you because of you, not because of who you work for.
Exactly.
I think it was less than 1%. It's either less than 1 or less than 2% of a NAR study said that the consumer cared about who you worked for.
Yeah, honestly, before I studied real estate, I didn't even know what a brokerage was. I thought it was like a bank.
Yeah.
Because what does that make sense? Do you work for a real estate office? Okay, cool. What's a brokerage? And why does a real estate office matter to me? It doesn't to the buyer most of the time. So who you're with is just kind of the bones, and everything else is up to you.
Yeah, agree.
And I love that. Well, Jason, I think it's been a really great episode. We're coming up on 25 minutes here. Is there anything that you want to leave the listeners with as we wrap up today?
As as mentioned earlier, we're starting our own podcast. We've had a couple of really great guests on so far, some industry standards. And the biggest thing that I can leave with anybody is you have to remember this is a relationship business, period. And when you show your clients that you're more to them than just a number, you're more than just a transaction, the sky is the limit. When you build a true relationship and you're who you are, both online and in person, I just think your career can will grow exponentially. And like I said earlier, if you are looking at making a switch in brokerages, go in it with an open heart and open mind. Just look, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? I mean, hell, I listened to Douglas Elliman. They came to us and they talked to us, and I'm like, okay, cool. No, that ain't for me. But I still listen with an open heart, open mind. But I would just say be true to yourself, make it a relationship business, and if you're looking at making a change, just go in with an open mind and open heart.
I love that. That's awesome, Jason. Jason, thank you for your time today.
I appreciate it.
I will be as shareholders at EXP Con, so be on the lookout for some messages from me, and hopefully we can meet in real life. And I want to try to do some like little live episodes or snippets while we're out there. So I think that'd be fun with you. So
yeah, I think we'll fly in Saturday. We're going to go in early, so I'm not rushing around on Sunday. That way we can kind of relax, get registered. I think we'll probably end up going to the party Sunday night.
Friday night. So we'll be there early, and I think we're staying there late. So there will be plenty of time. Of course, no lack of things to do, though.
No, and I'll come by y'all's table and see you.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yes,
Jason,
ma'am.
Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you soon. And I guess, just a couple weeks away. So
I know, yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Less than a week, so I appreciate it.
Jason, thank you. Have a great day.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success, and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.